Okay, excellent. Sorry for the delay. YouTube was being a bitch. Anyway, this topic is going to be what your competition fears the most with your witchy business. It's kind of a long title, so I don't know if I was going to put it in the YouTube title or not, but that's what it is. When you look at your so-called competition, I will put it in quotes, the word competition, because really you don't have any, but I'm going to tell you why. But your so-called competition fears you showcasing your greatest powers and your greatest confidence and your audacity on your with your business and online and in person and everywhere else in the astral realm, wherever the fuck. Your quote unquote competition does not want you to be your best self, because being your best authentic self is going to be what makes you money, period. People who are fake do not get but so far. They'll get a little bit far, but shit catches up to them, and eventually it's revealed and word gets out that they are a fake in one way or another, whatever that is. It never fucking fails. I'm not going to say any names, but I've known a handful of people, a small handful, albeit, but a handful of people who presented their businesses online as whatever it is they presented it as, and they were not who they said they were. And I'm not just talking about one particular person. I'm talking, there's two main people in my mind right now. I'm not going to say who they are. Let's just say I've come farther than they have. The number one reason for that is because I don't get on here and wear a fucking mask. I'm not going to do that. I don't give a shit. I get on here, I talk about what I do. I talk about what makes me great. I talk about what makes my methods great. I talk about what makes my approach great. And I talk about what you can do to put your business out there, your witchy business, get it in front of the right people, in front of the right eyes, say what you need to say to get their attention and stop them scrolling, get them to look at your page, look at your website, look at your offers, and jump into that shit because you're speaking directly to your favorite client with authenticity. You can't get on there and just, well, some people do, turn their business page would be like a meme page, that's all fine and well, but the memes don't say, it's not the person, it's not the business owner speaking. It's whoever created that meme 10 years ago who's speaking. It doesn't make any sense. The other thing I like to see is people who take sounds from other reels and shit, or sounds from wherever, and they use that and they'll lip sync it. But if you go through all their stuff, there's no videos of them saying anything. These will be people whose voices you've pretty much never heard because they don't fucking get on there and talk hardly. They let everybody else talk for them. When you are doing your business, when you are running your business, doing your thing, talking about your offers and shit like that, you don't need to be using anybody else's stuff but yours. You don't need to be using anybody else's. You can use sounds or whatever. I mean, that's not terrible, but what I mean is don't get wrapped up in that where you get to where you don't know what to think of, or you're so used to not having to think about what to say or do that you've made a habit of just turning around and like grabbing somebody else's sound off their reel and using that and thinking that it makes you look like a badass, because it doesn't. Your favorite client has not found you yet and or has not paid you yet because she doesn't know anything the fuck about you. You've got to be authentic. This world is very, very fucking big. There's plenty of room for everybody. To quote Selena, there's plenty of room for everybody. There's room for everybody. And there is no competition. For those of you who've seen that little clip of her talking about that, because I know I have. If you see my Instagram search feed, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because that's all that's there. So What makes you different and what sets you out is the fact that you speak from your heart to the heart of your favorite client that you wanna work with. And as I've said before, the key to that, to finding your favorite client, is to go back in your mind and just go back in time, do a little time travel, go back in your mind and meet or refamiliarize yourself with the old you that needed help so desperately at one point or another. The old version of you that could have really benefited from some of the shit you're doing now, some of your offers you have now. If you're doing cord cuttings, you're doing cleansings, you're doing Reiki charging, you're doing, whatever it is that you do, past life regression, your ancestor work for somebody, whatever it is that you're offering. The old version of you could have really fucking used the shit you're doing now that you're offering the world. She could have really benefited from that. So you need to go back and speak to her and say, what is it that you really want? And if you could, two questions. What is it that you really want help with? What do you want, like, the outcome wise? Do you want peace? Do you want stability? Whatever it is. And she'll tell you. And also, you're going to go back and ask her, if you could be authentic as a motherfucker right now, what would that look like? And get that answer. So you being authentic as hell is going to be pure. It's going to be real. It's going to be electric. And that is inside of you. And there's no reason for you to be worried about what other people are doing or anything like that. Or there especially is no reason for you to be thinking that you can't do that or that that's too much. Because people are taught that their true selves are too much. Too much for who, I wonder? Like, the person who tells you that is going to be the first person to tell you that you're being too much is also going to be the person who's not paying any of your bills. So keep that in mind. Ask yourself how the fuck that person's helping you. But mainly you being your real and true self, like, what do they say, unapologetically, that's going to be what your competition is afraid of. And that's going to be the exact fucking thing that you need to do all out every single day. Hardcore. Be obsessed with you. And when you get in your reels, when you get to typing something, when you're doing something in your stories, when you're typing up the email that's going to go to your email list, when you're typing up the description for your services on your website, whatever the fuck it is, every time that it comes time to put you in it, to put yourself in it and have it come from your mouth, you need to sit there and be as authentic as a motherfucker, because your message won't matter otherwise. If you're not authentic, you're going to have a whole bunch of fucking people in your world who really shouldn't be there. And it's because your real self hasn't come through. And so there's no clear message. And so you'll have a bunch of messages from people that are like asking you, no offense to them, but dumbass questions. And you're sitting there like wasting your time answering these questions that don't have anything to do with what you want to do. And it's because you're not being real. You can weed out the people you don't need if you just get on there and speak your fucking mind. The internet is too big to be worrying about whether or not somebody's going to think one thing or another of you, whether or not someone's going to approve. It doesn't matter. When I go live half the time, YouTube or TikTok, anywhere else, and especially on TikTok, do you know how many times I've been on live on TikTok, which is damn near every time? When I go live on here, how many times has there been some goofball dude from some other country? He's got some odd name, be from some other country, and that'd be who pops up talking about so and so wants to join your live. Why? It doesn't matter. I'm going to ignore that. I'm still speaking when I'm speaking. He just wants to barge in and give his opinion. It doesn't matter. And eventually they'll quit because they eventually give up because they see they can't make any leeway. You need to just keep pushing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody that's got some dumb shit to say. Keep going. Doesn't matter. Keep going. This is your business. Like I said before, your business, your witchy business is an extension of yourself, regardless of how it looks. And like I said, it's not about whether or not it looks like you've put in effort. Your business is an extension of what you think of yourself. That's what you're presenting is what you think of yourself. So when your so-called competition, well, actually they're not motherfucking competition because they can't fucking do what you do. But anyway, anyway, go look at their page and see if they can do what you can do. Makes some fucking sense. So competition would never be the right word, but the people who are competing with you for fucking nothing are scared to death of you actually starting to love yourself, respect yourself, love your business, love your work, respect your work, price it accordingly, and to put that shit out there and say, now listen, damn it, you got such and such problem. I'll tell you why. You do because you're doing this, this, and this, and that shit ain't working. I'm gonna tell you what you can do to fix that. Blah blah. You need the cord cutting. I'm telling you, it's gonna do this, this, and this, and you're gonna have this afterwards. Period. Boom, done. Signed, sealed, delivered, done, finished. Fine. Over and out. And you just deliver. And you speak from your heart to hers, your ideal client. Speak straight to her. Your competition is afraid of you figuring this shit out because as soon as you do, you're going to blow them out of the fucking water. Duh. That's the whole point. Well, it's not the whole point, but you get what I'm saying. It's inevitable. People who think or want to be desire so desperately to be neck and neck with you in your niche or in your field or whatever it is that you're doing. They want so bad to be seen as being better than you, doing better than you, being smarter than you in your niche, whatever the fuck. That person is so goddamn terrified of being found out as a fucking fake that they're doing whatever it takes, whatever they can think of to crush you. All the while they're fucking fake anyway. Go look at their stuff. And now go look at your page and see where you're doing yourself short. See what I mean? See where you're doing yourself wrong on your own page. Go look at your stuff and wait, give it some time after you've posted something. Wait a few days. Wait a few days. Go back and look at it. Go back and look at what you've said. Go back and look at what you did. Don't critique the artistic part of the reel, the lighting and shit like that. Not that, but critique how you present yourself, like your body language, the words that you say, especially obviously. You can do whatever you want in your reels. Like that part doesn't matter. I could make a reel of one of these sconces burning, candle, like the candles burning down for like 30 seconds in the dark and here in this room, and I could just film 30 seconds of that. And that's all fine and well. That part doesn't matter. The text of what I've said, where I'm speaking from my heart to my client's heart, is the part that people are going to pay attention to. The other shit, the sconce burning in the background, is just aesthetics. Doesn't matter. I could have filmed the dog for all I care. It doesn't. But what I've said is authentic, and I've spoken from my heart, and I've spoken to my client as a person that I care about, who I want to help, and who I've got the solution for. And she can just come to me when she's, if the time is right, which hopefully is now. And if she's the kind of client who is ready to move now, then that's who's going to respond. So you just put it out there. The more that you put your power out there, and the more that you put your solution out there and say, now listen, damn it, I've got the answer, I'm telling you. And P.S., I don't see any of the other motherfuckers doing it the way I fucking do it. Period. Go look and see if you can see somebody else like me. And you need to present yourself like that. What I just said. That's how you need to act. Because it's true. You could go look at any coach online. Let's say any business coach. You could go look at any business coach online and go look at all the people in that niche and see 100 business coaches. But if you look at each one of them's profile or YouTube videos, what have you, each one has their own flavor. Each one has their own twist. Each one has their own spin on shit. Each one has their own way that they deliver stuff. So again, just like Selena said, there's room for everybody. They're just because there is. We're not, no one's stepping on anyone's toes. She said she doesn't need anybody looking over her shoulder. Too right. Damn right. Speak it. Because everybody's too fucking different. Everybody has their fucking gift to give to the world. You know that. You know that. I know that. We fucking know that. You're so unique and really, 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 really deep down, you have the courage and the pizzazz. I don't know why I like that word, but you have the courage and the pizzazz and the power to stand the fuck out. And this is why your so-called competition are afraid of you. They know that you have that. These are people who actually really, really and truly deep down, they fucking love you, but they're too afraid to admit to that, and they can't handle their love for you. So therefore they let it translate as hate so they can deal with it better because that feels better. And that makes them feel powerful. That's why they do that, by the way. No, I don't have a degree in psychology. I just pay attention. There's no formal education. I just look. I just look at people. So just pay attention to what they do. So the people who are watching you, who act like they can't stand you, are doing that because to them it's like a clock that's ticking down to the last, and or the timekeeper thing with the fucking sand. And they're just watching the sand run out, because when it does, it feels like that's when their world's going to end, because it's like a race against the clock, watching you slowly and surely come into your own and come into your power, because they know the minute that you do, they're going to be finished and no one's going to know who they are. You may or may not get their followers, who knows, it doesn't matter. Hopefully you'll get some good ass followers that are just your vibe and love you and appreciate you and fucking don't know anything about so and so, never heard of them. Doesn't matter, because they're not important. But your competition, the shit that they're afraid of, is the very fucking shit you should be doing. It's the very shit you need to be doing. And that's coming into your power. And that is being authentic as a motherfucker, because they see that you have that spark. They see you've got that magic. They see it every time they deal with you and look at you and hear you. So you need to be what they're afraid of. You need to be what people are afraid of. That's what's going to get the word out about you. As soon as you decide that you're going to be exactly what people are afraid of, your audacity is going to lead the way. That post I just shared on Instagram about, I said, it's okay if they copy you. It means you're doing it right. If you look down below that, the description I said was, your audacity is what makes you a leader in the industry. That's true for everything that you do. The fact that you are going to say, all right, you can be jealous all you want, that's just going to make me do more. It shouldn't be your number one drive. Not at all. Not at all. Because we're more mature than that. But it helps as a little reminder, just now and then. It helps as a reminder to yourself that you can say, you know what? So and so sees my potential. I need to see it too. So what is my potential? Hell, whatever I want it to be. I'm going to make this decision myself. You think you hate me now? It's all right. We'll see. See what happens. And you need to let that lesson be a reminder that you have sold yourself short in so many ways with your business, and you're not presenting yourself authentically, and that it's time to start now. There's no better time than now. And one of the best ways of doing that is to write your description for a reel, or do a reel, or do a story post or something, anything. If you have to go to like Google Docs or wherever to write it down and like come back to it later and actually do it. That's fine. But when once you start doing your audacity shit and you realize that what your competition hates about you and what they're afraid of about you is exactly what you need to be doing times 10. As soon as you plug into that and say, you know what, yeah, I should be loving myself just as much as everybody else does because yeah. And then you start loving your work and you start loving everything you say and you start being in love with what you do and what you give. And then once you start loving yourself on a deeper level like that and on more different types of levels, you start respecting yourself more and you start respecting the things that you do and the things that you say. And once you start feeling good about yourself like that on all those different levels and frequencies and facets and shit, your intuition works better, your brain works better, your mind is going to work better, your thoughts will be more clear. You'll be able to communicate more clearly because you'll be thinking about your words because they matter. And once you start doing that, you can have like natural moments where an idea or a message or something about one of your offers that you need to do or a new offer you need to create is going to pop into your mind, and you're going to have to write it down so you don't forget. Write it down so you can come back to it later. But there's going to be many, many instances where something pops into your mind that you need to say, in your stories or whatever for your business, and it's going to put out your message, show your authority and your authenticity. It's going to clear up, any questions people might have about your work or whatever. You're already on it. You're going to be way ahead because your intuition is going to be kicked in like a motherfucker, because you're trusting your own authenticity and you're trusting your own authority 100%. Other people can see it clearly. So you need to be stepping into that role that clearly other people can see in you. They obviously notice it. So you need to step into that because it's there. They can see it. Why can't you? You know what I mean? And so you need to ask yourself that kind of stuff a lot. If so-and-so loves me this much that they fucking won't stop running their mouth about me, then what do I need to start doing for myself? The same shit. Run your mouth about you. Run your mouth about your business. Run it. I have this joke. This is terrible. I shouldn't tell this, but it's whatever. Fuck it. It's too late now. I've already started. I have this joke that uh, if a man ever kills me, just know I ran my mouth to the bitter end. Just know. Run it. It's terrible. I shouldn't be telling you that. It's too late now. We're live. So, but run that. Just do it. Say everything about how great your business is. Say everything about how great your offers are. Say everything about how great your methods are and what makes you different. It's, some people will say it's a bit low vibe, and I don't want you. I don't want you focused on this part all the time. But here and there, like I say, it's just a good little reminder. Sometimes it's a good little mm, boost. It's just to keep in mind that there are people who can't stand it when you show your power. So now you need to show it times 10. Let that be a little bit of a boost, not 24/7, but just every once in a while, just to keep in mind. Just to keep it in mind. It'll help your confidence. It's fine. It's not bad. Just a little tiny confidence boost here and there, and you'll get to a point where you don't even think about that shit anyway. It's whatever. But it doesn't hurt to notice what's going on around you. It doesn't hurt to notice it at all. And just to use it as a reminder that you need to start loving yourself and being obsessed with yourself like other people fucking are. Because clearly they are. And that's it. Running your business online it can be easy. You just have to start with you. You have to start with you. Don't worry about everybody else. Especially don't worry about what your goofy ass so-called competition's doing, because that's a joke. Like I said before, you can go look at one business coach's page and look at everybody else in that person's niche and see that everybody's doing the same job. They're all business coaches, but everybody's got their own fucking twist. There's room for everybody. There just is. This world's too big. Go ahead and be a audacious motherfucker. Speak your mind, speak from your heart, speak to your client's heart, and your competition is just gonna have to deal with it. It doesn't matter because you about to surpass them anyway. Who cares? They want to do better for their business. They're gonna have to figure that out. You have to figure it out. Hate to sound dog eat dog, but that's kind of what it is. It's kind of what it is. You got to look after you and your business, and your business is your passion. It's an extension of you, and it it needs to look like it's the baddest thing ever because you are. That's it. And nobody, competition or otherwise, is going to have the spark and the magic that you have to add into your business to make it what it is and make your offers what they are. No one has the spark that you have. There could be you and 20 other bitches in a room, all of y'all talking about what you do or whatever, but everybody's doing it differently. Everybody's gonna have their own twists. If some of them want to copy each other because they can't think of anything, or they want to whatever the fuck follow trends, some shit like that. That's following trends. That's not a big. That's not. It's fine, but it's not something I would advise them doing every day. Because you need to still you need to still be you in your content, not somebody else. It doesn't Following the trend doesn't show them anything about your authority. It shows them that you copy what somebody else is doing. Once in a blue moon, fine, but I wouldn't advise that all the time. They need to see you because your competition does. That's it for now. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye.